8-0 at one point. Not actually sure his round 9 record. I haven't checked. I guess I could do that now. But I wanted to give it a try because everybody knows how much I love Drakes and things to begin with. And Brad Carpenter did get the 9-0. Nice. I like the fact that Melodies can steal Crassuses and some other useful cards. I like that Star of Extinction can be kind of useful at the moment versus, you know, obviously Carnage Tyrants, but more importantly, I think I want it versus Gatebreaker Rams. We have access to the one Beacon Boat, and I am absurdly sick to my stomach right now, so there's a decent chance that I don't get to finish all of these rounds, but we'll do our best. Hey George, what's up? Pretty strong opponent right off the bat. I don't know if this is a keep. I'm going to keep it though. It's super slow, but they've already mulliganed. I've not looked, Tandy. I was watching the LCS. No Llanowar Elf. That is an absolute miracle. Our deck has a real problem with Wildgrowth Walker. We do have 4 Lava Coils, but if he walkers into a bunch of stuff right here, we could just already be in trouble. What they reveal? Another Branch Walker that they didn't want. Another Petramander. I'm just going to call this thing Salamander because I don't actually know how you pronounce it. Petramander? 6 of the Ill-Gotten. That's ridiculous. I'm glad that he doesn't have to keep up with that in paper because that was obnoxious last night. I think I'm just going to go ahead and shoot this thing. I can't imagine anything else I'd rather kill with a shock, and we're not playing Arclight Phoenixes, so I don't think we have to worry about anything like that. Thief of Sanity. Well, I did not expect that. We got bailed out a little bit with this draw. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm starting to feel sick. Just want F6, so I'm going to go ahead and cast this first. I don't think it matters. We were drawing all of our removal. This is a very good sign versus them. It's a good chance that this will get a hostage taker or something. It's ridiculous. We're going to get to draw an extra card here. Now, I didn't catch something. It's the food I ate. I ate too much food. I've been a little sick to my stomach all day. I generally get a little sick when I go out, but it's been especially bad today. Like anytime I touch food, it wants to immediately come back out of me, though that's a little bit too much details. I'm not going to cast this because of Fine Finality, I don't think. Let's save one thing for later. We're going to get to make a 5/5 next turn anyway. Well, assuming that they don't have anything, of course. And if they just play a Crassus for 4, I don't think I'm that worried about anything. I mean, obviously we're just going to block here. Can't. I mean, they could have Cry in the main deck, but I don't think they'd have Cry based on what they're showing us. Just think this is pretty simple Fine Finality. Yep. Let's draw a dive down now, please, to protect our Drake. Are you really making me click those? I think I'm actually going to leave both of these on top. And I want to draw the Spell Pierce first. I'm keeping the Spell Pierce because it protects from another Finality or it protects from a Vivian at the moment. It does not protect from that. Though we don't have to worry about that unless they draw something else to go with it. That's okay, George. It's just part of me. Alright, they've conceded the game. Nice. So we're going to try these entrancing melodies here. They're good at stealing Crassuses, but they can also steal like a Wild Growth Walker that's going insane, and it provides a really nice blocker. I generally like to upgrade my shocks to at least Sheevan Fires. The dealing 2 damage to them is rarely relevant, while dealing this 4 damage is sometimes relevant. Then after that, it comes a little confusing. I generally like a Planeswalker or 2 in this match, but this was the old style of the deck. I'm not sure about the new style. Like, these are all cards that commonly in the past I've brought in. I actually think Spell Pierce is pretty medium. The games tend to go fairly long. Probably not going to bother with these treasure maps either in this build. Do like these. These are guaranteed. These are guaranteed. Don't know about the star. Don't know. Usually like having a kill condition that I can rely on, and that's what the Ralzarics represent. Not exactly sure, just because this build's such a little bit different than the others I've played. I think I'm going to not bring in the maps. And then I'm just going to shave basically 2 cards at random because I don't know. Have you had a good day, George? Make sure I don't have any background noise going on. This was a steam vent I'd probably actually keep. Alright, this hand's much better. We're glad we mulliganed. Now, in hindsight, I probably should have kept at least one of those extra shocks in because we've saw Thief of Sanity. Like, Thief of Sanity can just win the game. I think I'm going to ignore that because of, like I just said, Thief and stuff, so. Don't think I want either of you for now. Another entrancing melodies is not great. Got Penn Station again? Nice. I know you love your Penn Station. Alright, so we probably actually have to kill that. Though, theoretically, we could take a turn off. Because we could always just entrancing melodies it next turn when it gets a little bit bigger. Yeah, I think that's the play. I don't think I want you. Actually, don't think I want you at the moment either. I don't know what Charlie's is. I've never ate there. It's kind of interesting. I wonder what they're going to do with their other 6 mana. Nothing? Nothing seems like a lot not to do. Alright, well, let's just take this before they start gaining life. Cheaper version of Penn Station, fair enough. And then next turn we'll probably steal this. Guess I can shock pump this and attack for 6, which is pretty sweet. Yeah. But it's nothing that we really have to worry about. I'm not going to be greedy here and look for the land because if we miss the land, we could be too far behind to compete. That's unfortunate. They're going to take our Ral, but at least it's a moderately dead card here. Let's see what else they have. Vraska's Contempt, sure. So now they just have a 3/5 we have to worry about. And our Enigma Drake checks it evenly. We could just kill this and get it out of the way. Think that's what I'm actually going to do. If he ever does draw the blue mana, I don't want the Crassus getting that monstrous, so... Hopefully they don't have another answer for this Enigma Drake, but they probably do, because I don't think they would have wasted that card if they didn't. Oh, wow, they didn't. They just didn't have another answer. That's insane. Well, I'm going to actually play the Enigma Drake because we can also chart. Nah, I just want all of these cards in my hand, so I'm just going to play this. If we hit a land, I'll also chart. If we don't, I won't. Nearest one's now in Tennessee, so I guess I'll probably never eat one then. Yeah, it definitely seems like a control deck. I'm not even sure if Nexus is required in it, to be honest. Alright, so we started off with a quick win. That feels good, because we've lost so much at this format. Like, we have just been destroyed. Surprisingly, we did well with the other Drake deck we played as well. I'm pretty sure like Drakes are just really good at punishing people that are mucking around a little bit. You know, like gumming up the works, playing like some 3-color stuffs. Our Entrancing Melodies was great. Hey, I like taking infinite turns too. Scott from the old Team Ramrod is 7-2 with Bant Nexus not using Teferi. Just kind of interesting at the SCG thingamajig. Fight! Join match. Goshi? I don't know how you pronounce that. Or what that word means. I might have said something racist and not known it. Pretty easy keep. We just gotta hope they're a creature deck. Preferably a mid-range creature deck. That's mono red. Mono red will do it to you. We don't need that for now. Obviously, we're going to shock this stone immediately. It's a worse use of our mana, but it leaves the Lava Coil on our hand in case they're on the Chain Whirler builds. We'll do our best to save this Spell Pierce for like an Experimental Frenzy or a Light Up the Flames. I may do my best just to hold it for a Frenzy in general. Not that all of these builds even play Frenzy anymore, but depending on what they draw, it feels like everything else is beatable. Except for Frenzy. So they're going to light up the flame, and then a decision has to be made. So the only spell pierce we have in the deck. By the way, you like the new avatar? I'm just going to spell pierce it. They might not be playing Frenzy. They might not draw Frenzy, a million other things, but so just stopping them from getting 2 cards while we can seems reasonable. We've drawn all this interaction so far, though, and they're not drawing creatures yet, and we lose. I guess it was a bit of a gamble, but not every build even plays Frenzy. A lot of very smart people are saying not to play Frenzy, so this game's still winnable. If we draw exactly a land next turn, then we can potentially save the Crackling Drake, and that's how we win. But, obviously what's going on here is going to be very difficult to beat. Alright, just in case they have another land, I guess we're going to kill... I guess we shouldn't. They could have land into Lava Runner. And we'd prevent 2 damage that way. This way doesn't technically prevent any damage. Alright, let's get us an untapped land one time. You can do it, deck. Bail me out of my play mistakes. Bail me out. I've played bad enough that I need your help. Not a land. Similar, though. Very similar. There's a good chance I would block. So they are on the Chain Whirler build as well. Very interesting. I guess I'm 100% blocking. If they happen to have a Fanatical Firebrand as their next card, they just get me. But I need to preserve my life total as best I can. And if it's a shock, we have a Spell Pierce. I said we only had 1 Spell Pierce earlier, but I was thinking of VTCLA's deck. I wasn't thinking of the fact that we're not playing VCTLA's deck. Alright, so now we have some more weird options. We can attack for 7, play Crackling Drake, and hope not to die. We can just kill this, attack for 8. I think I actually have to put this on the table. There's a good chance I block with it. But there's not a 100% chance that I would block with it. Really depends on what they do if their mana pre-attacks. Because we're technically representing lethal. If they hit land, the game's over. Nice! Alright, I played poorly that game, but we got bailed out. That always feels good. Alright, so... we definitely want these. I wouldn't mind a couple of Murmuring Mystics in the sideboard. We may want these. I don't think Entrancing Melodies is good enough. I think it's just a little too slow. So if we're bringing in better removal, we can easily cut that. I think we can cut some number of Petramender. Maybe? Like, it just dies to the Chain Whirler anyway, so we don't want to draw them until fairly deep into the game. And, like, playing them on turn 1 and turn 2 is not wonderful, because Um, we may be forced to cannonade at some point. Though it's unclear if the cannonade's even that good here. Really kind of just want to cut another Petramander. The fact that it can be a 5/5 in the medium game, like we have 16 1-drops right now. That is a lot of 1-drops. Maybe it's just better to get rid of one of our enablers. Alright, if we're getting rid of an enabler, what enabler is the worst enabler? Ops help us get our early land / find a shock or Shivan Fire on for turn 2. Discovery lets us look at the most cards, and it's our one answer to Experimental Frenzy. However, doesn't let us get bad cards out of our hand. We only ever get one of them. Think this Charter Course is just maybe better. Getting to look at 2 cards and like discard a land's pretty relevant because both of those cards could be good. Also could just shave a dive down here, but I think we're going to go for this. I'm actually trying to think today because I love trait decks. I feel like maybe I try a little harder when I play these. I'm not sure. Ooh. I'm going to keep this for science. Anytime that you're playing a deck where there's a good chance you're going to shock on turn 1, it's probably not wonderful. But this is the one way I can think of to really test out these Spell Pierces. I want to know how good they are. And punished? I want the most chances I can possibly get for a land next turn, so. Alright, well, you're going to go to the graveyard. You're going to go to the top of our library. And we're going to hope that he can't get the runaway steam come bigger than a 3. And if they can, we're in trouble. If they don't have another land, this is going to be superb. Just kind of got our fingers crossed right here. They played the land post-combat, or post-spell. That's always a tilt to me for some reason. I don't know why. That always especially aggravates me. Because like you think you're going to do good, and then you're dead. Alright, well. At least we drew this. And there was nothing wrong with what they did, by the way. I'm just saying, like, that's how my emotion train works. My emotions is like, we good? We good? We good? Aww. You know? Would be very happy if they just try to cast a Frenzy here. Because it would indicate both that their hand is bad. Alright. Would like to draw another land. Did draw another land. Stop on opponent's turn. I'm going to Fiery Cannonade on their turn because I don't want them throwing a random Wizard's Lightning at me right now. I'd rather them use some of their mana to play it if they have them. But I don't want them to take the draw step. Alright, they have 3 cards in hand. So this could be very bad. Alright, just Enigma Drake's our next 2 turns. And hope that the Spell Pierces stop us from being dead. take 3. They have the lamb for the frenzy. No. Hopefully it's a burn spell and we get the least spell pierce. If we survive, we can win in 2 turns. It's not easy to survive here, though. Come on, opponent. It's relatively easy for us to win on the following turn. Alright, so they have 6 mana. And we have 1 spell pierce, so... Interesting. Don't think we can win this turn. Does dive down, so we discard a spell. They go to 7s. Alright, we theoretically could go for the win right now. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious. That's the only play we have. We just discard here, cast dive down, and hope it's game. Could have also spell pierced our charter course a second ago, or that wouldn't have worked because we don't discard the lava coil. So lightning strike we're dead to, shock we're dead to. We beat everything else. I guess they have something because they're not. Never mind. It was kind of a long think. To be dead. I was wanting to land that last time so I could hold up double spell pierce, but I guess in reality I was just lucky to get a 1-drop I could cast. That's what I really wanted, just any 1-drop that I could actually play. We has opponent. Well, every game we've won so far, we've been on the draw. Let's see if we can win on the play. The mana's pretty poor, but I think the hand's obviously pretty good. And based upon what land and or turn 1 play they show us, it'll determine whether we Petramander, Opt, or hold up Spell Pierce for turn 2. Also, I guess it depends on whether we draw land or not. If we draw a land, we're just going to Petramander, play the land, and hold up Opt and Spell Pierce, probably. Okay. Blue things. Alright. Anything you can do, I can do, but worse. I'm going to Spell Pierce, I think. I don't think we get a lot of value out of our Spell Pierces, and I think our dive downs are better in this match. And if he has his own Spell Pierce, we're fine with that. I will accept this trade if he offers it. I'll save mine too then. I was fine letting them both die. If they both get to live, we'll let them both live. We're down to 2 cards. They still have 4. At this point, I do not block, I don't think. I'm not going to play around another shock either. Yeah, I'm going to put that on top. I'm just going to cast this now. Don't care if they lava coil. Not going to attack into another dive down. Yep, that's fine. Guess I will attack into the dive down now. Oh, I don't have a second dive down. That's brutal. Well, the main reason I done that though was for this. And since we hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if they have a shock, we're kind of screwed here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They can turn their thing into a massive. I think I got outplayed this game. If they have another Spell Pierce or another dive down, it's going to be less hard than I thought a second ago to win, but we're like in pretty bad trouble now. We used a lot of our resources we didn't have to use this game had we just played slightly, or had I just played slightly better. So now we're at an even game where we both have exactly 5 lands and it's just who draws what. Well, they drew the very best card in the deck possible, and they redrew the very next best card, and the game was over. But I played this game poorly. I should still have at least like 1 lava coil in my hand. I should probably have a 5/5. I just butchered that game beyond belief. I think these are pretty insane here, and I definitely want these. Actually, just don't love Spell Pierce in this type of match. I think I actually like Entrancing Melody either because of these dive downs that both decks have. Going to shave some of these shocks too. The shocks really only kill like Petromanthers. Might actually just shave all the shocks and bring them back into Spell Pierces. You know, like 2 Spell Pierces in a row or something. Yeah, this is what I'm going to try. Oh, I definitely played that last game very poorly. We had the cards to win. Don't think this is a keep. I think this hand's actually better than that last hand, even though this hand's a 1-land hand and we may never cast a spell. But that last hand had to have too many things go right. We had to draw red mana and spells to play. At least in this manner, we only need to draw the spells. Or sorry, only need to draw the lands. We have the spells. I misspoke. And punish. Well, we're going to drop to 2-1, and it's 100% due to play, I believe. I will spell pierce anything that's spell pierceable. Because if we do draw lands, we're just going to be using our mana every turn anyway. Unfortunate. Yeah, this is the one that gives us a better chance at drawing a land next turn, so we're 100% playing it. If they spell pierce it or negate it or whatever, we don't care. We just hope we hit our lands before they hit their red land. They hit their red land, so the exact thing I didn't want to happen happened. And again, I want to make sure we hit a land this turn. This gives us the best opportunity. Wow, there wasn't another land in the top 3? That's pretty sick. Alright, I don't think we can come back from what we see here. We're going to have way too many ways to protect this. And or kill our blockers and stuff. Well, we obviously have to go for it. There's no ifs and buts or about it at this point. We just have to get wrecked. Getting wrecked's part of the game. If we draw a red mana, we have a reasonable chance, I think. It's just 6. We're at 3 red mana, 1 time. Alright, well, don't have anything else, please. Oh. Nice. Well, at least we're still playing. We're at 3 life, but we're still playing. Still playing is half the battle. We're 3 life and we have a 3-turn clock. With a dive down. Oh, don't draw another Enigma Drake to go for that. Alright, well, we need to draw our next red mana ASAP. Oh, why? Why, Moto? Why you hate us? Why you hate us? Untapped red source, 1 time. Alright, still playing. Assuming they don't have Disdainful Stroke. Alright, really still playing now. Wow, that dive down was such a good draw. We just need them to go for the beacon boat. Let our Drake survive! Yes! Don't have another. They're casting Discovery, and we have a 2-turn clock, and we're going to have a blocker, so unless they have a haste threat, we're looking pretty good here. They could also hit a Petramander, or they could hit a Entrancing Melody. Oh, that's our own Petramander. Spell Pierce? Attack you for 11? How lucky did we get? Wow. We got so lucky. You're taking a S-Smurf as we speak? Is that some kind of reference to a bowel movement? I got so lucky there. I did not deserve to win that game as badly as I played game 1. Okay, let's think about this a little bit more. On the draw, I think the Spell Pierce is a little bit better than it is on the play. I definitely don't think I want the 5-drop on the play or on the draw. Think we just have to run this back and keep playing this like little wickety-wackety game. How you doing today, Al? Hope everything's going well in Al's world. Right, this hand is a keep. We have our Drakes, we have some lands, so we're just tool light at this point. Okay. It's a good card. They put on bottom, so that's good for us. Oh wow, they could be looking for a land. They put on top. So if they were looking for a land, they got it. Think we're gonna get rid of the Shivan. First person that can cast a Drake usually has a fairly decent advantage in these matches, because that puts the other person on the defensive the entire game. So we're obviously just going to slam our Drake and smile next turn. And if they have Lava Coil, Beacon Boat, or whatever, I'm not too concerned about losing this Drake or putting this Drake even in harm's way. Beacon Boat would be the worst case scenario because they can buy it back the following turn as well. And they had the Beacon Boat. Like I said, that's the worst case scenario. Start with you, Vin. Put you on the bottom and see what we get. Thinking about playing this and just making them waste their next turn. Like, I know I'm throwing this in the harm's way, but it kind of time walks them for a turn, and we have nothing going on. We can't beat negates and stuff right now. We can't beat dive downs and stuff right now. This gives us a turn to try to draw a Crackling Drake or another Enigma Drake or something. So they got rid of a dive down. They did have a bunch of dive downs. Feel like what I did was rather smart now. I'm going to put that right back on top, and again, the very same principle this time, except this time I'm actually going to bluff a way to protect it. Took an extra long pause there just because, again, I just want them to think at this moment. Okay, sweet. That was great for us. Alright, so we're going to untap here. We're going to start with an opt. Yes, please. Then we're going to smash that. Then I'm going to attack. I want to draw the 2 cards in this situation because we're kind of like fighting a weird resource war. We're giving up 1 to 2 points of damage here, but I think the card's more valuable. We're going to pay and leave up dive down. We're just kind of telegraphing this dive down at this point. Next turn we can play a Crackling Drake, a Petramander, and pump a Petramander, I believe. Okay. Well, we can't do all of that anymore because, like, obviously, well. Would have loved to got the blue mana there. But we still have a Petramander even if they have like land Starve Extinction. Which Starve Extinction would be a really weird sideboard in here. Yes, 3-0. Didn't get punished for my play mistakes in game 1. I do feel like I learned a lot about the match in that game 1 though. Alright, so we've at least locked up a little cash and we're playing more. Ooh, 7-1 with various Drake decks at the moment. Al would kill to be 7-1 in his video game. Al loses all the time. Every time he plays League. But all we do here is win, win, win. Wow, I have 10 new emails? That's a ridiculous amount of emails in the last few minutes. We have an opponent. This hand's a keep. They mulliganed. Siren Storm Tamer. Okay, this is a very rough match. It's easy with the Phoenix builds of the deck. It is miserably bad with this type of build. Well, they kept a 1-lander. Let's see if we can get there then. This goes on top. We know it's a land. It went to bottom. They got the land anyway. Okay, we're going to attack and draw 2. Because we really just want our lands now. They obviously could have spell pierced that, but we just needed our lands. Well, that's a keep. Interesting turn now. I believe I attack. This attack was bad. This attack was real bad. now that I think about it. Because we can't cast a Castling Drake into a straight counter spell, but I should have played my land first, that way we couldn't have been Merfolk Trickstered. The attack was just super bad. But we don't want that. And you're just 3 mana now, right? Alright, so now we just attack, protect, attack, protect. We get to cast a Crackling Drake this turn as well with Spell Pierce. If they have their own Spell Pierce, that sucks, but they would have had to have a Capture Essence if they didn't. Most of these decks play Capture Essence now and not, they don't play Essence Scatter very much anymore. Okay. So this is kind of an interesting decision now. Like, obviously you're not good versus pirates, and Siren Stormtamer's a pirate, Hellkite's a pirate. However, with the addition of Pyromancers, I think you might actually be good enough now. And obviously bring in Niv Mizzets. I'm not sure about Entrancing Melody, but with our Spell Pierces, maybe it's good enough. So, these are cards that I know are coming in. These are cards that might be coming in. What cards do I want to sideboard out? I can definitely shave, if not cut, the dive downs. So I'm going to scoot 2 dive downs over here, and I'm going to shave one of them. They do have some things like Merfolk Trickster, Exclusionary Mage, etc. So like dive downs aren't useless, but they're also not the best thing on the planet. Probably just do not have room for these Entrancing Melodies, do we? Yeah, Entrancing Melodies is just a lot of mana for the Spell Pierce dive down deck. I have to remove 5 more cards? I just don't know if this is something that I'm able to do. Petramander may not be great. Maybe we can shave a couple of Petramanders, but it's a threat that can come down relatively quickly and pump relatively quickly. But maybe we don't need them all. Maybe like 3's okay. I'm just going to take the Firies out. I'm going to shave these, I think. I want the slower, or sorry, the faster things. Alright. So we have 10 burn spells and some spell pierces. Hopefully that'll be enough. We have no removal spell here. We have no spell pierce here. We have a Petromancer that is not a particularly good blocker. I think I'm going to keep it anyway. And just hope they don't have Curious Obsession. If they have Curious Obsession, we probably have lost. This is an easy block. Making them use a dive down is a positive thing for us. Yeah, like I said, it's just an easy block. We want to try to find removal spells as hard as we can. So anything that's not removal goes to the graveyard, and that's 3 cards instead of 2. And next turn we'll chart and discard a land. Well, discard a land assuming it resolves. I feel like they have a Curious Obsession right now, but they don't have a protection spell. JK. They just don't have a Curious Obsession. Hopefully they don't have the essence capture, but if they do, maybe it clears the way for the crackling drake. We have 1, 2, 3 in our graveyard now. Can't block here, or would easily block here if able. Well, they didn't counterspell the Petromancer, so I think I'm just going to cast this. I already had a wizard, so that didn't change anything. Alright, well, next turn we have some plays, but... So, what do we got going on now? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. You're 5. You're 6. So 7, 8. So 4 mana. So long story short, if I cast you, that'll make 1, 2. Oh wait, I miscounted. So if I play you for 2, I've already played my land. That'd have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the graveyard. So you're 4 in the graveyard. You're 5. No. So the only way that works is if I hit something with this. Interesting. Well, you're definitely going to my graveyard. The question is, are you? I don't think you are. Really need them not to have an additional trickster. Alright, well, let's start with this. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sure. Try to pay you. Oh no, not that. That uses my mana so well. So I'm taking 4 here. And I don't get to spend my mana like I want to this turn. That's the real dagger, because now if I draw the red, I can't use it. Ooh. Alright, if we survive this turn, we should be okay. Lots of things kill us. Exclusionary Mage, Sleep, any Perilous Voyage type effect, another Trickster. All of those cards kill us. But we have a lot of cards we can beat right now, too. We can beat any counterspell. We can beat Curious Obsession. We can beat another rando 1/1 creature. We can beat lands. Still can attack. Gotta play around Trickster the best we can. Oh, that's pretty good for us. Draw our card. Kill the Workout Marauder, and they can't protect it because even if they have a dive down, we get an additional trigger. We're doing insane things at the moment. Oh, yeah, they're dead. Nice. Niv Mizzet does what Niv Mizzet does. Oh, alright, 4-0. The only game we've dropped so far was the game that I'm confident that I should have won, but I played very poorly. We played quite a few tough matches, too. Petramander's the real deal, it feels like. Or people are just mucking around right now and having having 8 X4 Drakes are doing a lot of work. But anyway, we're playing for a trophy. We failed the last time we played a Drake deck to get a trophy. We 4-1 and lost the last round even though we won game 1. So let's try to improve upon that performance. Feeling pretty excited. I feel at home when I play these decks. Obviously I don't play them perfectly. But like a lot of the decks I play that you guys see me play, like I feel confused on a lot of turns. Like I don't know what I'm trying to accomplish or whatever. But when I play the Drake decks, I feel like I know what my general game plan is. Now I might not be taking the best lines to get to that game plan. But I feel like I know what I'm wanting to do in the game. Maybe I'm misevaluating where I'm at in the game, or something of that nature. Like I'm not saying that I play well. I'm just saying I feel comfortable. This hand's obviously a keep. We have 2 draw steps to hit a second land plus our 3rd draw. I shouldn't say mate. I always like hearing things like that. It makes me feel good. But anyway, we have a lot of draw steps to hit a land. We have these 2, plus a draw step for our turn, then these 2. Well, these 2 assuming they don't have a Spell Pierce or a Duress or something. Like, we don't always get these 2, but we get these 2 and often enough time that I think it's like pretty clearly a keep. And we just kind of hoping we don't see a mountain over here right now. And I did that intentionally during my main phase because they are a lot of spell pierces. Thank you, Anarif. Giving our opponent extra info, but basically just having fun. I'm a little too... Ooh, this card's a sweet one. I've been wanting to try this blue-green Hadana's Climb deck. Oh, I bet this deck's nasty versus us. Just stone nasty. I don't believe I'm using the shock right now. I'm gonna wait and see if they play Hadana's Climb or something, and then, like, whatever they put the counter on is what I'll shock. Alright, well, no Hadana's Climb. Well, I mean, I had five hits for that land. But I did tell him that I only had 1 land. Alright, so they're playing this build of the deck. It's kind of interesting, and now they have this breeding pool. The breeding pool is probably going to force me into killing this. Alright. So we know they have the breeding pool. We know they have the Vivian Reed. I believe we're just going to have to shock this. Take some damage here. Be sad about it. Slam Crackling Drake and hope they can't answer it. If they can answer it and attack us for 9 next turn, we are going to be, pardon my French, up the creek. If they cannot kill this Crackling Drake, I feel like we're in super good shape. They shocked, so it could be a hostage taker. It's just a Crassus. All right, just a Crassus. We ain't worried about no Crassus in this game. Crassus not on the radar. No, no. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing massive. Graveyard, graveyard. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we play a land, that is 7, 8. With dive down still up, and we're attacking for 11. They're attacking back for 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 themselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What kills us at 11? Hadana's Climb doesn't kill us, it's just 1. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm sure there's quite a few things that kill us, but I'm worried about them just being able to chump block next turn, so I need to get some damage through this turn. Alright. That gives me a lot of confidence. Still 9. They just have to find a way to deal 4. Well, technically, they could also just have another Crassus to block with. But we're hoping they go for the Vivian play. They didn't tap any blue mana, so we're good. Which one are you targeting? Alright. Petramander! Ooh. Feels good to be good, friends. I'm just playing, by the way. Just playing. Just playing. Look how good this little card is in this match, by the way. All little dudes get dudery things. Alright, so versus the Hadana's Climb deck, which is probably one of the decks I'm going to stream next. We definitely want Entrancing Melodies. It can take Wildgrowth Walker, and it can take Crassus. I think we definitely want Shivan Fires. Dealing direct damage to their face isn't relevant, but being able to X-Force something is relevant. Where do we go from there? So, Find Finality is a real spell we have to worry about. Vivian Reed's a real spell we have to worry about. Hostage Taker's a spell. These are the cards that I'm considering right now. We also have to consider what we're going to take out. We're definitely going to shave a minimum of 2 shocks. We may shave more than 2, but we're always 100% taking out at least 2 shocks in every non-hyper-aggressive match that we bring into 2 Shivan Fires. The Spell Piercers are good, but not great in the match. They can get early Hadana's Climbs. They can get later Vivian Reeds and stuff, but you generally don't want to draw more than 1. I do kind of want this Star of Extinction versus him. I'm not sold on the Disdainful Strokes. Already don't know how to get 2 things in. I think I'm going to try these. This game. I think ops are a little bit better because we need to find our lava coils and stuff in the early game. On the draw, would change that around. Sorry, on the play, I would change that around. But I'm pretty happy with that on the draw, I think. How badly do I want an opt? I think I do. And because we know what deck he's going to play now, we're going to hold up both the shock and the opt. If they play a Merfolk Branchwalker or something, I'm good chance that I'll shock it. But if not, we're just going to opt here and go on about our day. And we're going to put anything at all in our entire deck on the bottom, or on the bottom that's not a land at this point. And we're really hoping to find some blue sources in particular. But we'll really just take anything we can get. And we will kill whatever this is. If it's a Wild Growth Walker, we'll untap and Lava Coil it. If it's any Merfolk, we'll just go ahead and shock it. And we don't want to give it a chance to be an X3, so we're going to shock it now. And what did they get? Alright, it wouldn't have been an X3 anyway. Alright, so now we just slam Drake, and hope. Obviously, they could have answers for this, but we want to get our Drakes on the table before they start getting Vivians on the table. Consider that fairly important. They can have a hostage taker here, but if they have a hostage taker, we get the Lava Coil. A lot of these decks are cutting a good number of those Ravenous Chupacabras because of the Crassus. But if they do have a Chup, they just have a Chup. It's nothing we're going to worry about. Alright, so let's see what they do with their other mana. So they're taking the Breeding Pool, they're shocking, and then they're playing Assassin's Trophy, which is just beautiful. We'll grab an island. And we'll play our land. We'll red, blue, blue. And we'll pass with Dive Down Protection. Now, obviously, they could have Eldest Reborn here. Or they could have... Okay, this is a Hostage Taker. We're going to allow the Hostage Taker to resolve because I want to draw another card. Don't need you. Ooh, a Petramander. Hello, my friend. How are you? Alright, well, we're going to start with you. I want my card. Alright, so where do we go from here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the graveyard. So we can't Petramander and use Petramander to protect from a finality. But we could just play the Petramander. We could chart a course first, I guess. I'll get rid of you. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, I'm going to play the Petramander here and have Dive Down. The Dive Down saves the Crackling Drake from a finality, if that's what they happen to have. And if they don't have any of that stuff, we kind of get to go a little crazy next turn. We need to find another Spell Pierce relatively quickly, though. Alright, so let's start with you. Lava Coil. No. It gives me 2 draws for a Spell Pierce. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's easier just to click this. It's 2 though. So they're 18, 11, 12, 13. Hey, Zed Magic, thank you for the host. Highly appreciated. You came in, we're in round 5, game 2 at the moment, and we're currently up a game. Congrats, Murph. So what I'm trying to decide right now is whether I want to chart a course before or after combat. We're not, we do have some, we do have, 2 shocks left in our deck. So, 11, say 12, 13, a shock would be 14, 15, 16, a dive down would be 17. But, I think I want the cards in this case. I don't think it's very likely that we win the game this turn. So I think I just want to put a situation where I'm drawing both cards in case he has like, in case our opponent has like duress, find finality, or some manner to get past this dive down on the following turn, which isn't going to be very easy for them or a very common thing for them to do, but I do think it's relatively worthwhile to try for. Over 60 people in the event when it started. Nice. What format was it? And did you play your Bant deck? Oh wow, they're just doing that. The Memorial or the Jade Light. Alright, well. I think we've got this game, Vin. I'm not sure how they beat us. The Crackling Drake survives Find Finality. Well, of course I have to cast a dive down. They could have the negate here. And they go to 9 and we only have an attack for 7. Alright. Well, it's... I want to say GG's. GG's. Opponent. Alright. So I think we actually slowed down and thought about our plays. And we managed to get to 5-0. So this was Brad Carpenter's 9-0 deck today from SCG, and then we went 5-0 with it as well. And the only game that we lost was a game that I'm pretty sure I had the resources to win, but I think my opponent just outplayed me and I wasn't thinking clearly that game. This was a pretty fun deck. I mean, obviously it's a Drake deck. The Petramanders are amazing. The Trancing Melodies are really cool. Yeah, this seems like a really good draft of this deck. It felt strong. Let's see what Murph said. So standard, you played Nexus Fog. I think about 5 or 6 people were on Bant, but they all went 3 or 3 worse besides you. They all had terrible lists, though. One guy cut. Oh, wow. The list that I was trying today only had 2 gifts, and it did not feel good. I saw a few people playing the March of the Multitudes. I'm not sold on it. I don't think you need any cards like that. I don't mind the red splash for explosion, but it didn't feel good. It doesn't feel like you need to do anything special. Thank you, George. It doesn't feel like you need to do any of these cute win conditions. It feels like the deck's just arbitrarily strong and you should just be playing what you're playing. Doesn't feel like there's anything... Like, Hydroid Crassus is the only new card I even consider wanting to put in the main deck, and I don't even know that I want to put it in the main deck. Like, I just... Rossum, I know he 5-0'd with the 2 explosion list, but he didn't do very well at the SCG Open. But keep in mind, that's a sample size of 1 event in 6 matches. I think he went 3-3. That's not necessarily saying the deck's bad. He could have ran up versus bad matches. He could have got mana screwed, anything. But I'm just not sold on it. It didn't feel great when I played it. But, yeah, just feel like Teferi's enough. I don't know. Teferi just feels like enough to me. But no, I like this deck. This deck felt pretty strong. Changes to make going forward. I would really like to have access to 1 negate or 2. Maybe like go 1 stroke, 1 negate. I don't know if I would change anything else. I was pretty happy with the list in general. I'm not sold on these treasure maps, but we didn't get paired versus any heavy control decks. The thing about the heavy control decks is I'm not entirely sure that I wouldn't rather have Search for Azcanta. Treasure map does help you speed in the Niv Mizzets, but when you only have 2 Niv Mizzets, two Niv Mizzets and 2 treasure maps, I just don't know. Like, you can draw, like, so it's just 2 treasure maps, right? If you draw a treasure map on turn 6, like, isn't Search for Azcanta just a better late game draw? I don't know. So you think Emergency Powers is a stock up card? Well, I'll look into it. I don't even know its rarity. If it's a mythic, MTG. If it's a mythic, maybe. Yeah, it looks like they're like $4 in paper. Oh, okay, not $4 in paper. Like $1.65 or something. Sure. Fair enough. I'll buy 4 just because you told me to, Murph. Just because you told me to, Murph, I will buy 4. So what have you been playing in Pauper right now, Murph? I have a Pauper Win-A-Box Wednesday. Oh, but by the way, for anybody who's watching on YouTube or anybody who isn't used to my chat, I am going to call it there after the 1 league. Sorry that the host came so late. I apologize, but that's going to be it. But I'm going to speak a few words to Murph before I log offline. What are you playing in Pauper right now, Murph? Because I have a Win-A-Box Wednesday. What are your bad matches and what are your good matches with Blue Black Delver? And how close is it to Canister's list? Well, I don't know if it's Canister's list. I'll say the list Canister has been playing. I don't know who invented it. He's talking about emergency powers. Let me see if I can pull up the Manister list. Canister list 8270. Huh, Misplaced Ginger has a list as well. So this is Ginger's list. I don't know if I can get Curse of the Chain. Let me see what Canisters is. 2 canisters before they... Alright, Canisters is has 1 more Ash Barrens, 1 more Evolving Wilds, 1 less Terra Mythic Expanse. But the big difference is 1 Shock versus 1 Ash Barrens. And in the sideboard, Ginger has an extra Annul. And he isn't playing the Gut Shot. And he cut a Shrivel and a Compulsive Research for something. Can't figure it out. I really can't figure it out. What the hell? So it's 1 Annul. He's got 1 Annul and 1 Gut Shot over 1 Compulse and 1 Shrivel. Okay. Fair enough. So you're not playing the Curse of the Chains. You're playing basically this list. So you said you're struggling with the Boros Bullies list. Boros Bullies is what I wanted to play, but I couldn't find any Battle Screeches when I was looking for my bulk. I know they're over there, but I just couldn't stand looking for it anymore, and I gave up, and I don't know if I can borrow them. But yeah, I was going to play Pascal's build, Pascal 3000's build of the Boros deck. If I could have found the cards. I think this one's it. Yeah, this is what I wanted to play. I just can't find Battle Screeches. I have the rest of the deck. I don't have any Battle Screeches. Yeah, I don't have any Luma fields either, but I don't think there'll be many Electrickeries where I'm playing, so I'm not sure if I have to worry about that. Nice. A friend brought me Friday Night Magic. He brought me 4 Nexuses to borrow for the season, so I've got my Nexuses now. Pretty happy about that. So what'd you say your rough matches are and your good matches? The type of matches that I expect to see at this tournament, I expect there to be some burn decks, and I expect there to be some like elf decks and some affinity decks, and some infect decks, but. So it's not going to be, like, I'm not going to be playing versus other Delver decks. I'm not going to be playing versus the red-white deck. I'm not going to be playing versus Tron decks. I'm going to be playing versus the very linear strategies. Elf is bad game 1. Fair enough. The last time we had an event, there was quite a few people that showed up, and I played Is It Blitz, and I had some pretty close games, but it felt like there wasn't really a counter to it in the room. I scooped to my friend in the top 4 because we thought he had a better match in the finals, but that was just our fault for not scouting the top 8 well enough. And turns out the guy that he played in the finals, he couldn't ever beat in a million years. And I couldn't have lost to in a million years. We thought he was on Mono Black Pestilence, and I just didn't want to put up with that. Turned out he was playing that weird black-white Monarch deck. It's a pretty strong deck, it's just not a deck that can beat Is It Blitz. Wonder if Is It Blitz is any better now that we have access to foil. I just don't know how the black-blue deck ever beats. It feels to me like it can never beat burn, and it feels to me like it has a roughish affinity game. Whereas when you play the red deck, you pick up swirling, or sorry, like blue, not the red deck, but any red based deck. You pick up Gorilla Shamans and stuff like that. So I thought about playing Scred Delver, but Scred Delver just doesn't feel as good as Blue Black Delver. Like Blue Black Delver kind of just feels like the truth. This deck felt really good, though. But anyway, thanks for the advice, Murph, and congratulations on your top 16 in your paper event. I'm going to hop offline. We'll be back tomorrow, obviously. I'll probably come back tomorrow sometime after the SCG and play some random deck from the top 8. Mono Blue can never lose to burn. I also thought about playing Mono Blue, but I didn't 100% know where my Spire Golems were. I'm pretty sure they're in this drawer that I'm sitting beside of, because I had that set randomly in a binder, but I might have pulled them out for a deck, years ago or whatever, and I haven't double checked yet. But yeah, the red white deck's what I really want to play. Then like the blue black Delver decks, the blue black Control would be like my follow up, and Mono Blue Delver was my third choice. But yeah, anyway, thank you again, Zed Magic, for the large host. I highly appreciate it, and thank you everybody for coming out. We got a sweet 5-0. This is Brad Carpenter's list from the Open. He's currently 9-0. It's just a really, really sweet deck. Give it a try. Petromander feels just really, really good, even though I absolutely hate the art on this card. Hate this art. Just hate it. Hate it. Take care, everyone.